Following the tutorial, let's start setting up our EC2 instance. Click Launch Instance. Name your server. For the OS, make sure you choose Ubuntu, and you can leave these options default. Make sure you choose a key pair. And for the security group, if you don't have an existing security group, make sure your new group allows traffic from everywhere and also has these other options checked. You're going to also want to go in and edit that security group later on, and make sure you also enable traffic to the port 8501, as that is the port that Streamlit uses. I already have a security group that has that enabled, so I'm going to choose that. And for storage, you can leave the default option. And now, click Launch Instance. Great. Now that we have an instance running, connect to it using your favorite editor. I've now connected to the instance using Visual Studio Code. Once we're here, we're going to update our instance with the latest libraries using these commands. Great, the packages have updated. Now let's create a virtual environment for our Python library so we can install Streamlit. When you run that command to create a new virtual environment, you're going to get this, or you may get this error. And all you need to do with this error is take the suggested command it gives you and add sudo in front of it, and add -y to accept all the questions that'll come after. Awesome, let's continue installing Streamlit by running this command again now that we've successfully installed Python 3. And then let's activate the virtual environment and install Streamlit. Now let's create a file called app.py, and all we're going to do in it is import Streamlit and write hello world to the front end. Now we have an app with those 2 lines. Finally, let's run Streamlit. Streamlit is now running, and you can view it on your browser using the external URL. So click on this. Streamlit is now printing hello world to the front end, but this URL can be improved a bit. And we are going to redirect the URL without a port, which by default is port 80, to the port that Streamlit is being hosted on, which is port 8501. So the package that's going to help us do this is Nginx. So I'm going to pause Streamlit and install Nginx. Next, we're going to clear the file that gets created by default so that we can fill it with our specific configurations. So this line right here will send an empty string to the Nginx configuration. Next, let's open the config file. Then, once in the editor, you're going to paste the following instructions. And all this is going to do is it's going to help us redirect connections to port 80 to instead listen to our Streamlit server that is being hosted on port 8501. And save. Finally, let's restart our Nginx server. Now let's restart our Streamlit server. And instead of going to this URL with port 8501, let's instead go to the URL without the port. We now have access to the Streamlit application without needing to specify the port on the URL. Let's improve our URL further by adding a custom domain. And you can register for a free custom domain on this helpful site called noip.com. Once here, sign up for an account. Once here, you're going to come to this page where you're going to be able to choose your custom domain. So click here, click Create Hostname, and you can choose any hostname you want with these following domains. So I'm going to choose chatwith.hop2.org. Once you have a hostname that you're satisfied with, leave this setting default, and then enter your IPv4 address of your EC2 instance. And you can find that here, and it's going to be the public IPv4 address. So copy that and insert it there, then create hostname. So you can navigate to your custom domain, and now you have successfully linked your Streamlit application to a custom domain. Now onto the final part of our tutorial. Let's secure the access to our application by setting up a certbot account and by setting up HTTPS. So to do that, we're going to install certbot onto our EC2 instance. So for certbot to successfully run, we're going to need to stop Nginx for a bit. Now run certbot with your custom domain. So for me, that is chatwith.hop2.org. Now we can start Nginx again. And let's update Nginx in order to reroute traffic from port 443, which is the secure port, to our Streamlit application. To do that, let's first clear our current configuration of Nginx, open up the Nginx configuration, and paste the following. And what this is doing is it's importing the certificate and the certificate key to verify that our traffic is encrypted. Now restart the Nginx server. And finally, run Streamlit. Now let's go to our custom domain. And we can see we have connected to our Streamlit application on a secure server which has gotten rid of our not secure. I hope you enjoyed that. All instructions can be found in the link down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.